NuCedar Vertical Siding is designed to replicate the look of traditional wood planks. Our patented brushing technique will give it a different color and shading for each piece. Not one single board will look the same. However, if you would like a consistent color look, then get our smooth texture. NuCedar offers 3 different types of vertical siding. Channel Rustic, which is available in a 4-inch face with a 1-inch channel, as well as a 5 3/4-inch face with a 1-inch channel. Shiplap, available in a 5-inch face or a 6 3/4-inch face. And Board and Batten, which is a 9 1/4-inch board and a 2-inch batten. Our Channel Rustic and Shiplap are milled with a tongue and groove pattern to help with the expansion and contraction of the PVC material. Our product has a factory-coated finish by PBG. It is a waterborne acrylic urethane paint formulated with the solar reflective pigments for a long-lasting finish. Your NuCedar should be stored in the shade on a flat surface. Do not store in any location where the ambient temperatures may exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Some examples are on blacktop pavement or under a dark tarp. Determine that your framing is true and without excessive bowing. NuCedar needs to be installed over a solid flat surface, such as OSB or plywood. Do not install over open framing. Our siding is not a watertight barrier. We recommend installing a weather-resistant barrier over the top of the sheathing. The NuCedar Vertical Siding can install just like wood. You can even use the same wood tooling. Before you get started, make sure you have these following items readily available. A screwdriver, fasteners, you can use exterior grade number 6 or number 8 screws, or we recommend Starborn Pro Plug System or Starborn Head Coat. Measuring tape, a saw, touch-up paint, and acrylic or UV resistant caulk such as Fill and Flex, which will be used for the joints. Do not install any vertical siding that is not properly colored on its face. Inspect the product before installing onto the wall for both coating and general appearance. To calculate the number of boards to be installed, measure the square foot area to be covered. Take your width of the board times your length and divide by 144. This will get you the square foot of the board. Take the square foot area divided by the square foot of the board to get the number of boards that you will need to complete this area. For example, if you need to cover 420 square feet and you are using Channel Rustic with a 4-inch face and a 1-inch channel, you will have 5-inch width times 192-inch length divided by 144. Which equals 6.667 square feet per board. You will take 420 square feet divided by the square foot of the board to get 62.99 boards. Therefore, you will need 63 boards to cover this area. Trim that you are using is a straight edge trim. You have the option of installing the vertical siding first or last. However, if you install the trim last, make sure you do a chalk line so you know where to end your siding. Sometimes your preference may be a J-pocket corner or trim. If that's the case, you will want to install your trim last. To frame out windows and doors, use either standard edge trim or J-pocket. For inside corners, you can use the vertical siding by mitering or butting the material together and sealing the joint with adhesive. Visit our trim install guides and videos on the best practices to install trim. NuCedar Vertical Siding will expand and contract with the weather. That is why we recommend leaving a space between butt ends in any fixed surface. We have an aggressive fastening pattern which will help hold the movement of the boards. We recommend that the fasteners are no farther apart than 12 inches along the length, no farther apart than 4 inches on the width, and no more than 2 inches from the ends of the board. If you are using Starborn Pro Plug Hidden Fastener System, we suggest you use a soft mallet to install the plugs. A hard hammer could damage the rough-on texture of your product. NuCedar Vertical Siding is 16 feet long. For your joints, make sure you have handy a saw and any adhesive such as Fill and Flex. You can butt the ends to each other following the temperature spacing requirements mentioned before. You will want to fill and flex the joints. The Fill and Flex is flexible, allowing the material to still expand and contract. It is also paintable. Another method would be a scarf joint, which is basically a shiplap edge, which will allow the best look for expansion and contraction. Use your expansion and contraction guidelines to determine your gap and use an acrylic or UV resistant caulk in the joint, such as Fill and Flex. The joint should be secured with fasteners on each side of the joint. As long as you use the same fastening and spacing pattern as you do vertically, you can use your vertical siding horizontally. Just make sure you use a weather-resistant barrier system with a drainage technology below the siding. When your runs are past 40 feet, you will need to use an expansion joint. To safely clean your NuCedar product, a mixture of warm water and mild detergent or a household cleaner should work great. To remove any mold or mildew, you can use a mild commercial mold or mildew remover. We do not recommend using a pressure washer. It could ruin the rough-on texture of your product. Now that you've installed your NuCedar siding, you can enjoy your house with minimal maintenance for years to come. Visit our website at jainbuildingproducts.com for any more questions on the NuCedar siding and trim.